Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday to everybody out there. Friday. Want to go over Friday? Well, everybody remember the movie War Games? Remember it was Matthew Broderick and Ali Sheedy and Dabney Coleman was in it as well. They're the name of the computer that all of a sudden the government wanted to put all of our nuclear capabilities in charge of the WOPR. War Operations Plan Response, I think the name of the computer was. Oh, we could go Skynet from the Terminator movies. Skynet goes live. What you had on Friday is what we like to call algorithmic trading. And again, it's when the computers take over and things start to cascade in one direction. There's a lot of momentum heading in one direction. If you think that this is people selling out of their 401ks and their retirement accounts, no, it's not how it works. There's a lot of leverage involved with this, a lot of options trades that are involved with this. Now let's take that and let's put that aside. Again, I've never been a fan of all the algorithmic trading, all the high frequency trading. We've talked about it. Michael Lewis had a great book on it entitled Flash Boys. And I've discussed the issues with the entire thing. Doesn't make any sense to me. It's basically allowing people with really fast computers and access the ability to game the system. It is what it is. There's certain levels of the market that, again, you don't have access to. You don't. I got to pull this one out as well. There's a type of trading level that you have to get. I think you got to have at least, if I'm not mistaken, over $1 billion in assets to have access to certain investment vehicles that normal people cannot. So again, you don't play that game. I don't play that game. I don't run a hedge fund and manage more than enough assets, but it's not what we do. It's not what we do. And again, let's kind of go over all of the noise, all the chatter that took place on Friday. It's like, wow, that Jay Powell was being hawkish. He invoked Paul Volcker. It's like he said Voldemort from Harry Potter, for crying out loud. People, and I've been telling this for a long time, the Federal Reserve is limited on what it can do. And it's funny, all of these pundits out there know this. What, you think that they can go raising rates through the roof to stamp out inflation? Do you understand that most of our borrowing for this country, and I've explained this before, is in short-term instruments? We have to roll it over again and again and again. It would absolutely wreck our budget, destroy our budget. It is what it is, people. I want you to we'll go back just a little bit. Let's just go back to 2010. We had the whole European debt crisis and Greece and Portugal and Ireland and Italy and Spain. Oh my God, their interest rates are going up because, again, their bonds are being sold off. They were called bond vigilantes. You can do that with smaller countries some degree. You can't do it with the United States. It's just too big. But let's be honest here. What can the Fed do? It would wreck the budget of the United States. So they're limited in how high they're able to raise rates. And as I discussed on Friday, the Fed is also limited in what they can do with this entire thing. Now, we've printed the money, okay? They gave the money to the people in Washington, D.C. They gave the money to the Trump administration. They gave the money to the Biden administration. Prior to that, they gave it to Obama. They gave it to George W. Bush to spend on wars, whatever BS that's out there. We've been dealing with inflation for a while now. Again, everybody thinks this is brand new. Now, granted, some of the aspects, energy, whatnot, yeah, that's kind of new. But we all know we've been paying more for our healthcare. It's for people that actually pay for healthcare, college education, food prices, a myriad of things that we utilize every single day. And I talked about this a couple weeks ago here on the program when I got back from Greece, and I was just amazed. Again, every year I go there, I get thrown off at how much more we spend on items. We almost don't realize it, for crying out loud. From a bottle of water to a can of Diet Coke, how much more we spend in this country than other places. This is pushed down to us. And again, this is due to regulations. Right now, the Democrats on the campaign trail, at least the leftist ones, are trying to blame corporate greed. No, it's not. It's not. It's our system. It's government regulations. The government needs to get out of the way. Again, with that being said, many aspects as far as inflation starting to ease here in this country, little by little. Do I see a major shift? No. And again, there's a lot that's out there that really needs to be dealt with. The real issue right now is Europe and what's going to happen this winter there. I don't know what the hell they're going to do. I mean, you're talking some catastrophic numbers right now, and you could see political unrest. I don't see this whole supporting the Ukraine thing lasting for very long. I made the point. A lot of people got very angry with me here on the program for, again, giving you my honest opinion. Giving you my honest opinion. You know what? I'm gonna change it this way. This is for all you people out there that think that I'm just anti-American. I've been a Yankee fan my entire life. My entire life, I grew up listening to Phil Rizzuto and Bill White. I'm a Yankee fan this year. But even when the Yankees said they were doing unbelievable in the first half of the year, I'd get into arguments with my son. I said, they're not that good. I said, they're not that good. They're going to lose in the playoffs. Now, they've got to get to the playoffs. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. But that's my opinion. Does it make me any less of a Yankee fan? It's just me giving my honest assessment of the team and pitching and who they have and the fact that they can't win games unless they hit home runs. My opinion, the whole Ukraine-Russian conflict was checkmate from day one. Now, it didn't go as swimmingly as Vladimir Putin would like it to do. And he's most certainly taking it on the chin. But based upon Europe's reliance upon Russia, it's checkmate from day one. I have a story here we'll get to maybe a little bit later on in the podcast today. Fascinating. You're like, oh, yeah, we got sanctions on Russia. We've, since the Ukrainian war has begun, we've bought more than $6 billion of stuff from Russia. And I'm not talking energy. I'm talking food. I'm talking wood, other minerals and supplies. So again, we're still buying their stuff. Anyway, some economic stories here. Story talking about housing prices could fall by 20% in 183 cities. And this is if the U.S. economy falls deeper into a recession. Again, what does that mean? Nothing. I mean, it meant a lot. It meant a lot when people had short-term rates. They had low rates for a short period of time, and they had to refinance their homes, over-levering themselves. But if you bought a house, if you could afford a house and you bought a house for $500,000, you bought a house for $500,000. Now, let's see, it goes down by 20%. It's worth $400,000. You've got a 30-year mortgage. Has your bill changed? Has the dynamic changed for you at all? Now, granted, if you bought it on spec and you were hoping to flip it, yeah, you might be effed. But hence the word spec, speculation. It is what it is. This is the reality of the situation. Many housing markets around the country got out of control. I mean, I would see them based upon the type of money that the average person could make within that market. They got nuts. So they got to come back down to earth. There's nothing wrong with that. That's healthy. That's what makes a market. This is, put out there in headlines as like catastrophe. Okay, some of the real estate agents, their commissions aren't going to be as big. Anyway, from Walmart to Nordstrom, inventory pile up, uneasy shoppers put retailers in jeopardy. Again, talked about this here. Glut of inventory, discounting items to clear out space for holiday goods. Many have already lowered profit expectations. We've already talked about that here in the program, and they're looking to cut costs as consumers are pulling back spending in categories such as apparel and home goods ahead of the key year-end shopping season. Best Buy warned that shoppers are buying fewer TVs and other electronics as they pay more for gas and groceries. Yeah, maybe they've already bought their TVs and electronics and they don't need another TV. I mean, how often do you need to buy a new TV? I'm looking at the TV in my office right now. It's not on. Nice TV. Got it back. I'm trying to. Sony, and it's not like that's ultra thin flat screens like they have now. Great TV. I think maybe 2000. Trying to guess here. Maybe 2010. I have to go back and take a look. Works just fine. I'm not rushing out to Best Buy to replace a TV. That works just fine. Anyway, I get it. During the whole COVID thing, a lot of these people going gangbusters, staying in their house, thinking they're going to stay there forever. Whatever. Stocks pivot spurs investors to shore up defenses. We haven't changed a damn thing. Despite the market coming back over the month of July and then for much of August and retracing a bit now, high quality companies that have great cash flow, that have money on the books, companies that pay dividends. These are all of the things that you need to focus on. There's a shit ton of uncertainty out there. Markets don't like uncertainty. So you go through periods of time like this and you build up. You shore up the foundation of your portfolio. You reinvest dividends in high quality companies. You'll do just fine. Anyway, Washington Post and Wall Street Journal slam Biden student loan handout. Penn Wharton sees $1 trillion cost. It's going to be more than that. I don't know what to tell you, people. I mean, God willing, we'll get some court challenges and this will get struck down. Yeah, I mentioned it last week on the program. Even Pelosi admits that this is something that the president cannot do. Even Joe Biden, the president himself, admitted on the campaign trail that it's something that he just couldn't do. You start something like this, it never ends. It's like every government program. It's in perpetuity. The only government legislation that gets passed that doesn't go on forever is tax cuts. Ever notice that? Tax cuts, the only thing out there that they put an expiration date on. Every other government program, it lasts forever. So again, you're a freshman right now. You're a freshman in college. Now you have to borrow money. You have to borrow money for school. Sorry about that. You have to borrow money for school. What do you do? Well, you go ahead and you borrow money. Does the $10,000 or $20,000 for Pell Grants, does it affect you? No, you don't get it. Nothing has changed as far as the cost of college and the fact that kids are going to have to go out and borrow more money. What's changed is that if you're borrowing now, you're starting school now, it doesn't apply to you. Again, I get it. Life's not fair, but this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Again, I wonder if some of the Republicans out there might want to point this out to the 18-year-olds that are starting college that think that this is going to affect them. You say, you know what? You've been left out on this, but that's not the plan. That's not the plan. Once you get started, it's never going to stop. It's like Obamacare. Okay? I'm sorry, people. Obamacare is going to end. And at some point in time, it's going to end in universal health care. Will there be a private option out there here in this country? Yes. I don't think they'll ever be able to get rid of that. I don't. They have it in Europe. They do. But eventually, it's not a matter of if. That was their goal from the get-go. They're smart. They go in stages. The left is smart. Obamacare is going to lead to Medicare for all, or Medicare, whatever. It's going to happen. I don't like it. Republicans had a shot to shoot it down, and they said, screw that. We don't want to actually have to do the hard work. We'll get McCain to do it because McCain doesn't like Trump. And he's like, that's fine, I'll do it. But if it wasn't McCain, it would have been somebody else. This is the thing that you people just fail to understand. You right-wingers out there. And you MAGA Trumpers out there. Trump on the campaign trail refused, we're not going to do anything in regards to entitlements, Social Security. Man, we're not going to even talk about, fixing them, even though it's an absolute boondoggle. Didn't want to deal with it. Too hard. Anyway, this is just going to get extended. Somebody down, it's just not right. We've got to do the right thing. And then they'll just do another round of giveaways for kids that started school in 2022. Is what it is. All right, let's get into, we talked a little bit about energy situation in Europe. We're going to get into EVs, energy issues, what we're going to be dealing with moving forward. You got another company out there. Again, this is after the what is it called? The Inflation Reduction Act. Ford has now hiked the price of its Mustang Mach-E by as much as $8,000. See, I frickin' told you so. They all are. And again, it's across the board. And even some of these companies, the credit doesn't apply to them because, I don't know, they outsource too much of the material. Who knows? There's a big story today going through all of the EV makers out there and their financial situation, where they are and how they need to have enough cash on hand to keep themselves going. And it's few and far between at this point in time. Almost each and every one of them, outside of Tesla and Rivian and maybe Lucid. See, Lucid's got the benefit that it's backed by the Saudi royal family, so that that's a cash spigot. They can fix that at any time. But many of them, they're going to have to go back to the well. They're going to have to go ahead and raise more money. It is what it is. Costs are just too high. It is. Environmentalists have turned on the lithium industry. Yeah, again, all you people that are all in EVs, I don't think you fully understand what it takes to mine lithium and the process that's involved and the sheer volume of water that it takes to do this. I'm going to go back before electric vehicles, back when everybody was pitching, corn and ethanol being the answer. And again, unintended consequences, people not looking into the amount of phosphates that are needed and the phosphates in the water to grow the corn and the runoff into the Mississippi River and what these phosphates will do in dead zones. So again, my heart of heart, I'm an environmentalist. I'm not a whack job environmentalist, but I'm an environmentalist. And being an environmentalist, I want what's best for the planet. And right now, I want to develop technologies. I have no problem with EVs, but we've got to get to a point in time. What was the number here? 55,000 metric tons. That's how much, it's the biggest miner of lithium right now. Argentina's got a ton of the stuff. But this is what's interesting. At present, the production of one metric ton of lithium requires 500,000 gallons of water. And it's a 2-year evaporation process where lithium is separated from salty brines. Would you like to live next to the lithium mine? No. No. Again, I'm not saying, again, there can be processes that are developed to obviously do this in a much cleaner fashion, a much cleaner manner. And that's what we need to strive for. But we're not there yet. The materials are not there. You're already seeing the price go up for batteries. Now, I did see a story this past weekend, and I don't necessarily sure the science behind it. They said they got a technology now. They say it's going to be available in 5 years where batteries will be able to charge 90% in 10 minutes. It's going to take 10 years. Whatever. Again, that would allow, obviously, for smaller batteries because you could charge them faster, which would make these things a little bit cheaper. But we're not there yet. We're not even close yet. You see the price of these cars, and it's fine. I mean, it's part of the process. It is. It's part of the process where again, technologies are rolled out. They're very expensive at first, and then little by little, they come down in price as the technology evolves. I was talking about this to my buddy. I said, you want the best way? You want the best way? They want the technology to really go fast and evolve. You put the Formula One guys on this. The type of technology that they've been able to utilize, what they've developed in Formula One racing and making the cars more efficient over the years, it's extraordinary. That competition breeds excellence. Government subsidies and handouts do not. They breed laziness, quite frankly. Again, I have no problem with this. Like I said, if I could get an electric car that could do what my car does right now, and it's reasonable in and around the same price, be a little bit more expensive, fine, I don't care. I get it. The network is not there. It's not available. It's not ready yet. It's not. And I this past weekend, I take my son back to college, and right up there, I did it in under 3 hours. Long Island to Providence, Rhode Island, took me a little less than 3 hours. It almost took me 6 on the way back. I-95 just sucks. I swear. From now on, I am going to New London. I'm taking a ferry to Orient Point, and I'm doing it that way. I can't anymore. This I-95. The only time it's good is like early in the morning. No traffic. But again, if I had an electric car and I drive my son up to school, and then I got to find a charger. I got to find a charger to charge the car up there in Providence, and then I'm going to be in traffic for that amount of time, and I got to worry about whether or not the car is going to land. I mean, I'm not dealing with that nonsense. Who needs that type of stress in life? We're not there yet. Anyway, one little side point when it comes to driving. You ever notice this? It's just an observation. Do you ever notice it? The people that decide to drive on the highway in the left lane really slow, rather than get the blank over. You ever notice that those people also still wear masks inside the car? Just saying. Western countries breathing new life into old nuclear plants. Again, we've been talking about this here on the program. No kidding. The thing that bothers me the most is you got these developing this technology for these modular nuclear reactors. They keep saying it's 10 years for this. Why? I don't understand. I don't understand. We can do all sorts of things. We can put people on the freaking moon. We can have all of this stuff. We can go from having a smaller military than Romania prior to World War II and end up fighting a multi-theater war and winning. And you mean to tell me we can't get these things ready in less than 10 years? Again, the only reason's government. Again, I'm not saying you want to make these things as safe as possible, but you mean to tell me you're not able to figure that out? It really needs to take that long? I don't get it. Anyway, again, it's this story of National View. And, you know, this all the left, all the Thomas Friedmans out there were praising Joe Biden, what great leadership he had. And he went over there and we've got Europe and NATO is back after Trump dissed our allies for actually asking them to pay their fair share. Joe has brought everybody together to fight Vladimir and Ukraine. Bullshit. It is again, who the hell do you think is footing this bill? Huh? Europe has, as a whole, has a greater GDP than the United States. You want to go over some of the numbers here? Okay. Last week, Biden sent another $3 billion. Yep. Medium-term defense weapons. By May of this past year, we had sent over $54 billion of aid. The package approved by Congress had $19 billion for direct military support, $16 billion for economic support and humanitarian relief, and $2 billion in support for NATO allies. We have top-offs, $1 billion package in June, another $775 million mid-August. Now we got, again, last week, another $3 billion. Germany has spent a total of $2.5 billion, which most of it goes to reimbursing other EU member states for costs incurred to them for supporting Ukraine. The UK, the world's fifth largest economy, contributed $2.3 billion. Canada, $900 million. Poland was the other significant contributor at $1.8 billion. This is in your own frickin' backyard. This is in your own backyard. And again, I'm not saying that we didn't play a part in this mess, because we did. We've discussed that. But it was your stupid energy policies and the ability for Vladimir Putin to, put you over a barrel. That's on you. Yet we are footing the bill. Trying to explain to me how that makes any sense whatsoever. Victor Davis Hanson piece. Will the Republicans really win back the Congress? And again, he's one of my favorites, historian, author. Again, you see some of the stuff that he does. He teaches classes and they're free. Hillsdale College online. You can go there. They're asked for donations, but you can see some of the classes that he teaches there. He's just great. And his books are fantastic. But again, he's echoing much of what I've been saying here on the program. The Republican Party really doesn't have an agenda. They really don't have anything at this point in time. Nothing. National Review, I know a piece on that today too. I said, what are you guys running on? Anybody know? Anybody know? Again, let me be honest. Let's get everybody riled up about Mar-a-Lago. And again, I don't know what the thinking is over at Fox News and Fox Business, and I'm going after them right now. Now, I turn on, there's some problem with, I watched back and forth the business stations. I had some problem with CNBC this morning, and I'm back and forth, and I go over to Fox Business, working fine. Almost the entire, Fox Business, okay? Fox Business. We had a market that was down over 1,000 points on Friday, and all the hell they want to talk about at Fox is Trump and Mar-a-Lago and all this BS. It really is. Enough's enough with this crap. I mean, you want to cover that to some degree, hear that, but it's Fox Business. Anyway, Republicans have nothing. They have nothing. So I at this point in time, I have very little confidence. And again, I'm not a member of the Republican Party. I'm a conservative libertarian. And again, I can't stand the rhinos as much as anybody else can. Well, let me be honest, direct here. Okay. They've got nothing right now. They have no national policy. They have no Newt Gingrich contract with America. Actually, Rick Scott tried to do something and it got shot down by the rest of them. So no, do I have any hope whatsoever that the Republicans can take the Senate? No, highly doubt it. I also doubt that they're going to take the House. And to be honest with you, does that the people that are there, the elites within the Republican Party, they don't give a shit. They don't care. They're fine. Right? So they're not going to lose sleep over this. They're still going to be going to their fancy dinners in Georgetown at night. It's all BS, people. And again, that's on you. Okay? That's on you. Continue to vote these same people in again and again and again. It's a lot you can run. I mean, you want to hear wacko? Listen to this one. Colorado Secretary of State, Jenna Griswold, claimed Republicans plan to attack Americans' right to vote if they're able to win this year's midterm elections. What we can expect from the extreme Republicans running across this country is to undermine free and fair elections for the American people, strip Americans of the right to vote, refuse to address security breaches, and unfortunately be more beholden to Mar-a-Lago than the American people. I don't know who this idiot's preaching to, but obviously people believe this nonsense. Yeah, strip Americans' right to vote. They've had that before. You know, they talk about that. Actually, gee whiz, having to show your ID when you show up to vote, like that's somehow some sort of act of voter infringement. What a bunch of bull excrement! It really is. It's utter nonsense. And again, you got this moron in chief, Joe Biden, calling what was it? Semi-fascist, calling Republicans semi-fascist. Dude, you don't even know what the word means. The fact that this moron is president of the United States, again, it's amazing to me. It really is. Gary Gensler, let's start about Gary Gensler and the regulatory agenda at the SEC. I have to agree. It's a waste. It really is. Again, first and foremost, you shouldn't be forcing companies to tell you what their carbon nonsense ESG crap is. That's just ridiculous. And again, real simple. At some point in time, you just got to put buyer beware. It is what it is. You want to go at risk and go into a high risk investment. You want to go into a hedge fund, whatever it may be. You better do your due diligence. That's all. You better do your due diligence. Again, I understand the need for regulations out there, but we continue to, again, throw more and more and more money at the agency. What happens? Is crime stopped before, that something takes place? Do we actually help investors out before shit goes to hell in a handbasket? Nah, never works out that way. Anyway, have a wonderful day, everybody. Watchdog on WallStreet.com. Watchdog on WallStreet.com. We'll see you.